What is up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick video. You may be asking yourself, why is there a fan blowing in the background in the middle of winter? And I'll ask you, have you ever lived in an apartment building where the clothes dryers actually work and dry your clothes with one load? No. They don't. I'm going to answer for you. No. They know what they're doing. We need to revolt. And on the last day that we live in these buildings and we're moving our last bit of things out, let's go in the laundry room and set the trash can on fire and bounce. That's the only way they'll learn, okay? James Gunn dropped his DC slate today. I was at work being miserable. All of a sudden was hype when I was listening to that video. James Gunn, okay, and it's a shame that I've been bummed out because it's like James Gunn. He's taking over DC. Cool. Creative mind. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all that. But we're not going to get the Snyderverse. But if you listen to what he said, you don't even have to read between the lines. He's straight up telling you. Number one, Green Lantern Corps. True Detective? It's going to be like Green Lanterns mixed with True Detective. You got me right there. And I got to say this repeatedly to people all the time. How many times do I have to say True Detective Season 1 is the greatest season of any TV show in the history of history? Like, and you talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, it's like, no, you're sitting there watching The Masked Singer at night when you could be watching episodes of True Detective. All right, good for you. Like, come on. And then you throw in Season 3 of True Detective. Yo, stop it. Like, Green Lantern, James Gunn, True Detective. What else do you have to say? Then he says, the Paradise Lost Wonder Woman show, it's gonna be like Game of Thrones. And if you're one of those people who's a Game of Thrones is right, stop. Yes, the last season was lackluster. But you act like they didn't do nothing for you for the first 6-7 seasons. Stop it. You were at work every day, at the water cooler, or wherever you and your friends, you and your co-workers, everybody has a spot at work where they go to try to hide from doing work. And you run into other people there that are slacking off or trying to recover from drinking the night before or smoked a J in the parking lot before work and they need to sober up before they can face any bosses or whatever. You were there talking about, did you watch Game of Thrones? Yes, of course. Why are you asking if I watched Game of Thrones last night? Of course I watched Game of Thrones. What do you think I am, some kind of animal? Yes, I watched it. You were doing that every week, so stop it. And I haven't even watched House of the Dragon because I just got back on board the Mary Jane train. And when I have a couple of days off, I'm gonna binge a couple episodes. So I'll catch up with it. But right there, Game of Thrones, True Detective, two things right. Then he says Brave and the Bold. So first thing I'm thinking is Batman blue suit, which is a good thing. I want the blue suit, okay? If anybody can pull it off, it's Gunner, all right? Then you think of Robin, red and green suit, right? And you think of more, traditional, happy. But then he says Damian Wayne. Come, anybody complaining? Oh, it's not going to be dark like the Snyderverse. Stop, because you're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to get the darkness, and you're going to get all the moments, and don't say you didn't, all the moments that had the big elephant tear in your eye, that had you scared to talk to whoever you was next to you in the movie theaters during those parts of the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I'm talking about. You didn't want to say nothing to him. You didn't want to say pass the popcorn, because it would have been like, like you were right there getting ready to have a mental breakdown over Groot. So stop it. The whole the Ravagers funeral at the end of Guardians 2. Stop. You gonna sit there and tell me you weren't about to cry or you were crying? Lie to my face right now and say stop. Then he says, and I'm talking about Gunner. Then he says Swamp Thing. I don't even just nothing. I don't have nothing. Swamp Thing. Yo. And there was no mention of Keanu Reeves' Constantine. None. It's still going on. You're going to have some kind of tie-in. If somehow they fast-track Constantine, you're going to have Constantine, at least in the end of the Swamp Thing movie, to set up Justice League Dark. Or, if Swamp Thing comes out first, you're going to have Keanu Reeves, Constantine, have a cameo in it. I'm calling it right now. And if anybody can make that call to somebody and be like, hey, man, I had a wacky idea, Keanu. How about it's James Gunn? If Taika Waititi can get Christian Bale to be in Love and Thunder and actually try. Don't say Bale wasn't trying. James Gunn can get Keanu Reeves to have a small part because, number one, Keanu Reeves cares about that role. All right? And I think it's... Now that James Gunn is there, there ain't going to be no more Keanu Reeves having to beg Warner Brothers for Constantine. This dude with John Wick hasn't backed the Brinks truck up to them. And he has to beg for Constantine? Yo, what? Stop it. Gunner's going to set things right. Kevin Feige? Yeah. You see what happened? Once you threw Gunner under the bus because he made some tweets about eating babies 10 years ago? Yeah, what comes around goes around, bud. Yo, this is... You want to talk about a DC story? About Joe Chill somebody creating their biggest enemy? Right there. You done did it. You screwing over James Gunn and playing games with him? DC was smart enough to be like, yeah, you can come over here. You can make as many tweets about French frying babies as much as you want. As long as you keep making those movies that just unload, just piles tons of money to us. Yes, whatever craziness you want to do, you got it. Like, come on now. And there was something, the whole Supergirl thing. I'm sitting there like, Supergirl? You can't win them all. Then he's like, and she wasn't raised on there, and she has a totally different outlook. And you're just like, I see where you're going. And I put my trust in you. Because think about this. Anything that you're not hype about with James Gunn, what he was talking about, even if he's not hands-on directing it, it's going to be like when Steven Spielberg produced Poltergeist and Tobe Hooper was directing it, right? He's still going to be there every day. He's going to write the script. He's going to be looking over the shoulder. He's going to be like, no. We're not doing things like that anymore. It's going to be gunnered all the way up. So anything you're about, don't be about. Because remember when you first heard about Guardians of the Galaxy, you were like, what? They could do this. They could do... Why would they? And then you see it, you're like, I just need to shut up and sit down now. That's whatever you want to do. Thank God we got DC. Because Marvel done screwed the pooch. We've been waiting on a Spawn movie forever. What else do we have? And not only are we getting... It's not even like, well, at least we have this. It's like, we got this. And the last thing I'm going to say is, of course you're mad about Henry Cavill. Of course. But James Gunn writing and directing a new Superman, this movie is going to be worthy of the John Williams score. I'm calling it right now. Have faith in this man, okay? But yo, the DC slate, I hate that we have to wait. I wish they would have maybe did like a project secretly and been like, did like when Netflix dropped the old Cloverfield Paradox movie, just like, oh yeah, by the way, in 10 minutes we're dropping a new Cloverfield movie. Bam! Like, yo, and I mean, not to say that that's anything epic, but I just thought the way they did that was just super cool. But it would be dope if DC or somebody, at least in the future, does something like that. Because you got us sitting there waiting. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to start watching No, I'm just kidding. I will never be desperate enough to watch any Marvel stuff post-Infinity Saga ever again. I don't care